Welcome to BBC News, broadcasting to viewers in North America and around the globe. My name is Andrew Plant. Our top stories. A milestone for Saudi women who've hit the roads after the controversial ban on driving is finally lifted. A blast rocks an election rally held by Zimbabwe's President Mnangagwa. He's unhurt but says it was an attempt to kill him. President Trump calls America's immigration laws a laughingstock and says his tough approach will make the US stronger. Women in Saudi Arabia are finally taking to the roads after the authorities lifted the world's only ban on women driving. It's part of a programme of modernisation under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. But leading women's rights activists who challenged the ban will be marking the day behind bars. Bill Hayton reports. Well, earlier I spoke to MANAL al-SHARIF, who is a Saudi Arabian women's rights activist and the author of Daring to Drive, A Saudi Women's Awakening. MANAL helped start a women's right to drive campaign in 2011 and then was herself jailed for driving. She told me how today's historic change was overshadowed by the recent arrests of female activists in Saudi Arabia.
This is what really makes me have mixed feelings about it. I'm still happy, I'm still hopeful, and I know women finally, when they are driving their cars, they would feel fully independent and the male guardianship system will be obsolete.
We know there are lots of things still in Saudi Arabia that women can't do, going out without a letter of permission from a male guardian, for example. So is this really a step forward and will other things follow, or is this more of a cosmetic gesture?
I believe that the women, the day they decide they are free and they don't need male guardianship, that will make the law obsolete. Even if it stands today, it will make it obsolete. The woman will not ask for permission to take decisions in her life anymore.
OK, so small steps, but today a significant one in the lives of all Saudi women, you think?
Yes, yesterday was history, today is historic.
Now, Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa says a blast at an election rally was an assassination attempt against him. The explosion happened shortly after he left the stage in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe's second city. At least 2 senior government officials were injured. Our Africa correspondent Will Ross has more.
Will Ross, BBC News.
Now, President Trump has called America's immigration laws a laughingstock in a speech to Republican supporters in Las Vegas. It follows intense controversy over his policy of separating illegal immigrants from their children at the Mexican border. Our North America correspondent Chris Buckler reports.
Chris Buckler, BBC News, Washington.
Now, Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has called on voters to return him to office with sweeping new powers on the final day of campaigning in the country's election campaigns. But he's facing a tough challenge from a newly united opposition. Mark Lowen reports from Istanbul.
Mark Lowen, BBC News, Istanbul.
And the polls in Turkey open in around about 3 hours' time. We'll have all the coverage of that here for you on BBC News. Football now, and Germany's World Cup chances looked to be in the balance earlier as they played Sweden in Group F. At half-time they were losing 1-0 and were in danger of being knocked out of the whole competition. But a dramatic fight back helped them to a 2-1 win. And elsewhere there were victories for Mexico and Belgium, as the BBC's Tim Allman reports. New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and her partner Clark Gayford have presented their newborn baby girl called Neve to the cameras. Ms Ardern, who's said to be regaining her strength by eating macaroni cheese, has been swamped with congratulatory messages from around the globe, including a private email from Queen Elizabeth. She'll spend a second night in Auckland Public Hospital with her daughter, who Twitter wags have dubbed the baby prime miniature.